Hey guys, Charlotte here from Poke Crossings and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we're going to be having a look at 5 things that I would really like to see in future updates for Animal Crossings. So let's jump straight into the video, and first thing I want to touch on is this little bit of, I guess it's news out from Nintendo, and they did an interview and they basically said that they expect to be pushing updates for Animal Crossings for the next 2 to 3 years. Now that is huge. It's going to be so good. Just in the first kind of month or so of release, we've obviously seen quite a lot of content. Now as the game goes on, I don't expect that level of content every single month, but it's cool to know that they're definitely going to be continuing to kind of support this game. Whether that's through free updates or paid DLC, we don't know. But yeah, it'd be quite cool to see what the game looks like in 2 or 3 years' time. But it is definitely exciting. So with that news and with that interview, we're going to have a look at 5 things that I would really like to see introduced into the game as a future update. Now, the first one, and I think we will all agree with this one, is bulk crafting. Now, I think in reality, I mean, I'm not a game developer, but I think in reality, it would be quite a small kind of update in order just to add an option when you go into crafting. It'd be really good for it just to pop up with how many of these do you want to craft, and it's just like a little box. You can move the numbers. So say I've got 10 vanilla clams, it'll let me craft 10 lots of fish bait, rather than having to go in and out of that menu 10 times just to get 10 lots of fish bait. I think that would make a huge improvement to the crafting aspect of the game, and I think most of us are in agreement that that would be something that we'd definitely want to see moving forwards. So number 2 is I'd like to see more shops and vendors. So initially the game, I mean, I loved the game, but I felt it kind of felt a little bit empty in places, in a sense that we only really had 2 shops. We've got the Nooks shop, and then we've obviously got the Able Sisters, but otherwise we've got nothing else. We've got Kixu comes occasionally, Zaharu comes occasionally, but there's no real bulk to it. So I would really like to see more shops and more vendors. I think the last update, the Nature Day update, definitely helped with that. Obviously we've got Leaf who pops by and Red who's popping by. That's really cool. I would really like to see Leaf become more permanent on the island, or maybe, go into the Nook shop, or, somewhere. I don't want to see him disappear from the game. But I also think there's a lot more that we can bring to it. There's obviously Brewster's coffee shop, things like that. I would definitely want more to kind of expand my island and make it feel like there's more kind of shopping options or kind of more recreational options. So that's my number 2. Now my number 3 is I'd really like to see more in the way of mini games or more variations in the terms of challenges that you get from Gulliver and Wisp. So I think I've had Gulliver on my island now 4 or 5 times. Wisp, I think I've had him 3 times. And every single time it's the same, collect the 5 pieces of his spirit, or the 5 kind of parts, and it's all the same dialogue, it's all the same kind of storyline, which is fine, but I would personally like to see that get mixed up a little bit, and maybe some minigame options thrown in there. Now the May Day event, I thought that was really cool with the maze, and it's added a little bit of variation to it. And you've also got, I don't know if you guys have experienced this yet, but the islanders often or occasionally ask you to do like a treasure hunt. I've done it twice now, I think. So I did it first time with Cookie and she gave me 6 minutes, and the second time we with Goose and he only gave me 3 minutes, and that was again really cool. But I'd like to see more of that sort of stuff added, and just a bit more variation in those people that are coming back to the island time and time again. Just mix it up a little bit, Number 4. Now, again, I think this is another quite common one. I think you guys would all agree with this. I would like to see more functionality from the backpacks and the tool ring. So for me, when you assign a tool to a tool ring, it should take it out of your storage. In the same way that the magic wand, when you assign an outfit to the magic wand, it takes it out of your inventory. I'd really like the same to happen for the tool ring, because at the minute I'm wasting a whole row for tools, and if it's just complete waste. So I'd like it, if it's assigned to a tool ring, for it to take it out and then it frees that space up for something else. Same with a backpack, you know, if you're assigning a backpack or something like that to your character, surely it would make more sense for it to add a little bit more space. You know, it doesn't have to be much, it could just be an extra row or something like that, but it would be cool to be able to have that more space, just again bringing that kind of functionality back to the item, which I think would be a huge benefit, you know, especially when you're going on Mystery Island tours and you're doing either like a Scorpion or Tarantula Island, or you're just trying to farm because you need more wood, more iron, things like that. It'd be really, really helpful just to get it that little bit more space. So yeah, that'd be quite cool. Now the final one is quite a big one, and I think it would be a very big update to bring in terms of development, but I think for me it would definitely make the longevity of the game more, because I think right now Animal Crossing is doing amazing, and I think, you know, I love the game. I'm a bit of a die-hard fan, so I'm sure I'll still be playing it in 2-3 years. But you know, we've got a lot of new people who's just picked up Switches and picked up Animal Crossings, and there's this big hype around it. I'd really like to see a little bit more in the terms of interactivity on the island. So what I mean by that is I want a little bit more from the islanders. So they've done a really good job, the developers of this game, in terms of the weather and the aesthetics of the game. It looks incredible. But for me, the communications with the villagers is still lacking just a little bit. I'd really like to, again, I mean, you could tie this into my previous point about more mini games. You know, in the old games you used to be able to set a time and they'd come visit your house, or set a time and you'd go to their house. That's missing now. We could have a huge variety of more mini games, more challenges. That would be really cool. And also with the items as well. So my islanders are definitely like starting to use the benches and stuff a little bit more, but anything else that I put out on the island, they're like not even interested. You know, I've got beach balls, footballs. I've even created like a beach bar, and they don't go anywhere near it because it's got like a fence around it. I find if I build a fence around something, that they don't really go into that area, and they always seem to congregate as well around the town hall. So the further things seem to get away from the town hall, it's very, very rare you find, well for me anyway, I find my islanders in that sort of area. So yeah, I mean, it would be a big update. Like, I saw something on Reddit where somebody had a screenshot from Pocket Camp, and it had the two islanders like in one of the sauna bath things. Now that would be incredible. Imagine walking around and your islanders are using like the little pools and the little fairground rides and things like that. I think that would take a lot of development, and I think awesome as it would be, I am not necessarily sure that will ever come to the game. But I do think it would be worth, you know, being able to use things like the footballs, the goalposts, all things like that, add some more challenges, bring back the scenarios where you can invite your villagers to your house, and just add that little bit extra kind of level of depth to it. And I think that would help to ensure the longevity of the game more, and maybe convert a lot of these people who are brand new to the Animal Crossing franchise and convert them into, you know, longer term gamers, and maybe even convert them to other games within the Nintendo franchise. The amount of people who have literally bought a Switch for this game and purely for this game is insane. So I really think it'd be good to be able to convert those people to other games, or, you know, to keep with the franchise for a longer period. And just have more people enjoying games. I think it's come at a really good time. So yeah, they're kind of like my 5 key things that I'd really like to see come in future updates. I think there'll be a lot more stuff that I've not talked about, maybe not even thought about, that will come in the terms, especially in terms like seasonal events and stuff like that. We're going to see tons of that sort of stuff, but this is like 5 what I see as quite basic things, and I think most of you would agree that's what we'd really like to see. If you think I've missed something, or if there's something really specific you guys would like to see, make sure you drop it in the comments and we can start a discussion and have a chat. I'd love to see what sort of ideas you guys have or what you feel is missing from the game at the minute. As always, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button. I'm putting up daily Animal Crossing content at the minute, and as we move closer to the Pokemon DLC, I'm sure I'll start getting some Pokemon content out there as well. But yeah, at the minute guys, daily videos, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell, and you'll get notified when they go live. See you soon guys, bye!